So we now have the main trailer for Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro. It's kind of hard to take in all this footage really, when our only glimpse at the film for such a long time was a single image of DiCaprio. All of a sudden we have a bombardment of footage coming of the film. So to be honest, I think this is a pretty bad trailer. The film looks great, but the trailer is poor, mainly because of the music, with the wailing and the modern day sounding head-banging dubstep beat. I know the group behind the song are Native Americans, but this creates the completely wrong tone for the film. The first trailer was way better. It was mysterious, it was intriguing, it felt like a prestige film was on the way. This one makes the movie look like a loud Hollywood crime romp, something like The Wolf of Wall Street. It's as if the trailer creators heard the name Scorsese and assumed it was just another crime romp and cut it accordingly, because this looks like Goodfellas in the Wild West. It's the way it's cut too, like this part where De Niro and DiCaprio are talking about money. It's like a comedy. It feels like a Tarantino film, like a spiritual sequel to Django Unchained. Like when someone says, I ought to kill these white men who killed my family, and we're still warriors, and it's intercut with natives slapping and walloping white guys. You'd think the movie is about natives who've had enough of being treated bad and go on rampage against their oppressors. It's selling a completely different film. The reality is that the movie is going to be really bleak and grim. The Irishman had the same problem. The first two trailers sold a fast-paced, action-packed epic crime film, which caught a lot of people off guard when the movie was about an old guy who gets his pills mixed up and falls down with his walking stick in his hallway. I understand it from a marketing perspective, but practically every review of Killers of the Flower Moon, whether the reviewers like the film or not, are unanimous in saying it's a really, really slow film. So I hope people aren't disappointed when they watch a trailer like this and then go in thinking it's going to be a completely different film. I was really hoping that we were going to hear De Niro speak in a trailer because I wanted to know what kind of voice would he go for. Was he going to do a Max Cady maybe? And I had a slight suspicion that the guy in the opening was him talking, but thought, nah, it doesn't sound like him. And then they showed it was him talking. He's such a great actor, so transformative. This has always been one of my main issues with DiCaprio. Sorry subscribers for another Leo rant, but I look at Leo in the film and I just see Leonardo DiCaprio. I look at De Niro and I see William Hale. I don't see someone playing a character, putting on an accent. Did you notice though when he says it's gonna be a tragedy, he sounded like Travis Bickle. Anyway, the trailer practically gave the game away as to who the killers are. Where's the mystery? I know apparently that within 20 minutes into the film or so, you know who the bad guys are. I think one of the reviews said that. The movie is not a murder mystery as previously envisioned, but still, it's like Arnie not being the bad Terminator in Terminator 2. Yeah, it doesn't ruin the entire film if you know it going in, but it's still ruining a nice surprise in the movie. Honestly, if someone doesn't know the story in the film, I'd recommend to watch the teaser, but not the main trailer going in. Again, Scorsese's previous film The Irishman had a third trailer that pretty much spelled out the mob was going to kill Jimmy Hoffa. That doesn't happen until about 2 hours into the film, and it isn't something that everyone watching the film would have known about. I don't really like the colour in the film. It could be just the trailer, but the colours look washed out and muted. I like my films with a lot of colour. I think I've just become a bit sick really with so many films in the past 10 years or so looking so dark. Like, look how distinct the colour of the meat is here, and practically everything behind the meat pieces, the man included, are the same colour. It does look like a lot of the movie will focus on the latter half of the book, the stuff with the investigation and the trial and whatnot, which is great because the trial, which I thought was one of the best parts of the book, could easily have been relegated to an epilogue, which would have been a shame. Anyway, that's all I've really got to say at the moment. I don't really want to talk about the plot for those who don't know the story. It won't go down as my favourite trailer of all time, but the film does sure look good. What do you make of the trailer? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Before we finish, I'd just like to thank my patrons, Nicholas Curtis and Daniel P, and also my channel members, Michael Awatwi, Rikers, Damien Irving, Joe Grossberg, The New on Guam 24, Lone Wanderer, and Tristan Foss.